going African Women's Volleyball Club Championship in Abuja. The Custom Ladies made it to this stage of the tournament with a win in the opener when they trashed Mayo Kane Evolution MKE of Cameroon 3-love. The first set was 25-18, second set 25-17, and the third set was a closely contested one, 25-22, but lost their last two games to Carthage team of Tunisia and APR of Rwanda. KCB, on the other hand, won their first two games but fell to Al Ahly of Egypt 3-2 in their last encounter. Nigeria other representative chief of naval staff CNS Spikers have Lito Volleyball Club of Cameroon to contend with in the knockout phase. CNS began their campaign with a straight set win over Botswana Spikers and Spiking Stars. However, they failed to repeat the win in their last two games against Zamalek and Kenya Prisons. In some other round of 16 fixtures, Club Omnisport Decates of Cote d'Ivoire will test the might of reigning champions Zamalek of Egypt. Army Patrick Rwanda APR will square off against Laloy of DR Congo. Elsewhere, it will be Carthage of Tunisia versus Senegal Sosim as Al Ahly take on Mayo Kane Evolution of Cameroon. Kenya Pipeline Company KPC will go head-to-head against Spikers and Spiking Stars SSV of Botswana, while Kenya Prisons tackles Police Rwanda. The fixtures for the round of 16 for the knockout phase in the 2025 CAF B Women's African Volleyball Club Championship commences today, April 8th, at the Indoor Sports Hall of the Moshood Abiola National Stadium. Go catch some action. Yes, the 2025 African Women's Volleyball Club Championship ongoing at the Package B of Moshood Abiola National Stadium. It has been an interesting one from match day one to the round of the knockout phase, where we will be wishing CNS and the Nigerian Customs team to do well and go to the next round of the competition. They have the North African teams and also Kenya, the East African countries on the continent to contend with if they are to get anything out of this championship. Let's take this story from under 17, where 8 countries have picked the FIFA Under 17 World Cup ticket at the 2025 CAF Under 17 African Cup of Nations, following their impressive performance. Following the expanded number of participating countries at the FIFA Under 17 World Cup in Qatar, Africa will present 10 teams at the World Cup finals. According to the rule to determine the teams at the knockout stages, the top 2 teams in each pool advance to the knockout rounds and also pick automatic tickets to the 2025 FIFA Under 17 World Cup in Qatar, while 2 sides are finished third in the 4 pools will go for a playoff for the 2 remaining spots. The nations are meeting for the first time at the Total Energies CAF Under 17 African Cup of Nations. In Group A, Morocco and Zambia with 7 points apiece. In Group B, Burkina Faso and South Africa with 9 points and 4 points respectively. In Group C, Tunisia and Senegal are first and second with 7 points apiece, while Ivory Coast and Mali have have garnered 7 and 6 points, have qualified for the World Cup. The third place team includes Uganda, Angola, Egypt, and Gambia, which will be involved in a playoff to determine the 2 slots. Meanwhile, the quarterfinal matches commences on Thursday when Burkina Faso hosts Zambia at 5 p.m. as Morocco entertains South Africa at 8 p.m. On Friday, Ivory Coast will confront Senegal for the semi-final ticket at 5 p.m. while Tunisia trade tackles with Mali. In the playoff games on Saturday, Uganda will lock horns with Gambia at 5 p.m. on or before Egypt hosts Angola at 8 p.m. It's just a painful one that the Golden Eaglet Nigeria under-17 team is not part of this as they lost out during the Wafu B competition. Let's go straight and look at this exciting news. If there's anything to go by as African most populous country, Nigeria is set to become the first country in the continent to host the Commonwealth Games in 2030. Nigeria has met the deadline for expression of the interest to bid for the Commonwealth Games in 2030 in Abuja. The Nigerian Olympic Committee emerged from its executive committee meeting on April 3rd in Abuja to say it had met the March 28 deadline for expression of interest for a bidding process. Nigerian can only commence a formal bid if the federal government gives a backing to the project. A statement released by Tony Nezianya, the public relations officer of the Nigerian Olympic Committee, notes that Nigerian bid for the 2030 Commonwealth Games in Abuja will present a unique opportunity to showcase its development, enhance its global standing, and invigorate its sports culture. Nigeria last hosted a major multi-sport event during the African Games in 2023, that is Koja 2023, hosted in Abuja. The country used the platform to demonstrate its capability and commitment to organizing large-scale international events. That experience will provide a solid foundation for Nigeria to host again, showcasing its ability to manage the logistics, hospitality, and infrastructure development required by such events. This would also provide a compelling narrative for the nation's progress and readiness. Let's go straight to Morocco and look at the Basketball League Africa, where Rivers Hoopers continued their perfect start to the 2025 Basketball League Africa BAL in the Kalahari Conference with a hard-fought victory 88-82 over Moroccan champions FUS de Rabat, improving to a 2-0 in the tournament in a game marked by momentum swings and high-intensity action. The Nigerian champions leaned on rebounding dominance and perimeter precision to seal the result. Madut Akek led all scorers with 25 points, connecting on 4 of 8 from deep, while Kevin Amayo followed closely with 23 points and a commanding floor presence throughout the night. Despite a poor outing from the free throw line, 11 of 27, 41%. Rivers Hoopers shot an efficient 49% from the field and 45% from three-pointer range. Their 43-38 edge on the board and 23-second chance points proved crucial, especially in the closing minutes. Peter Olisemeka controlled the point with 12 rebounds and 9 points, while Rafael Putni and Shamba Maxi Munanga provided timely buckets and hustle plays on both ends. Fuz the Rabat fought valiantly with Nises Zoza, hitting 5 triples en route to 23-point. Veteran Abdul Hakim Zouta chipped in 13, and Jonathan Devante Jordan tailed a double 12 points, 11 assists, but struggled with shooting consistency. Rivers Hoopers led as many as 14 points, and despite late pressure from Fuz Rabat, Rivers Hoopers held their composure to close out another statement win. The Kingsmen will be back on the court, that is today, to play Al Ittihad of Egypt after observing one-day break. Let's come back to football and we'll go straight to the glass house, that is NFF, where the president of the Nigerian Football Federation, Alhaji Ibrahim Musa Gusau, on Monday at the NFF FIFA Technical Center inside the MKO Abiola National Stadium, Abuja, officially inaugurated the first batch of participants for the CAF B license coaching course. The NFF boss expressed his delight at witnessing this significant milestone. He commended the NFF Technical Department led by Coach Austin Cerezo Guevon for the diligence that went into the planning of the course, highlighting the collective effort involved. He said, I urge all participants to eschew all forms of distraction and fully immerse themselves in this learning experience. As the president advised, this is a great opportunity to improve yourself. Before the end of this year, we intend to launch a CAF A license program, and I believe we are the acidity of the technical department, we will achieve this. NFF General Secretary Dr. Mohammed Sanusi reiterated that the program will improve the quality of coaching in Nigerian football leagues, stressing that if the country does not have elite coaches, this handicap will adversely affect the performance of all our teams. What we are trying to do is to create a situation where our coaches can imbibe modern methods and strategies, and of course to be certified, because if you don't have the B license, you cannot be part of international competitions like the inter-club competition. The CAF B license coaching course is a critical element of the NFF strategic initiative aimed at enhancing capabilities of coaches throughout Nigeria, spanning 4 months. The course will be conducted in various modules, ensuring a comprehensive and structured learning experience. This is first batch. This first batch has a total of 25 participants. Also in attendance were the second vice president of the NFF, chairman NPF, Honorable Benga Elegbeleye, chairman of the NFF Technical and Development Subcommittee, Alhaji Sharif Rabiu Inowa, deputy general secretary Dr. Emmanuel Kweme, NFF Technical Director Coach Austin Guevon, Director of Legal Service OKOB, Acting Director of Competition Ms. Ruth David, and other top officials of the NFF Technical Department, including former Nigerian internationals like Rafiu Yusuf and Nasiru Jibri, and Head of Coaching Education Dr. Terry Ekwaoji. take a story from the Nigerian Premier Football League. As the Nigerian Premier Football League NPFL chairman Benga Elegbeleye has expressed confidence that the ongoing 2024-2025 season will end on a high note. Speaking during an interview, Elegbeleye highlighted the progress made this season and assured fans that the league is on track to maintain international standards. According to Elegbeleye, he said we are close to completing the season we started in August and will wrap up in May, which aligns with the global football calendar. Elegbeleye emphasized the league's commitment to integrity and consistency, noting that the NPFL has adopted a zero-tolerance policy for malpractices. We are pleased with the progress so far and we are determined to sustain this momentum. This season reflects our vision of making the NPFL one of the best leagues in Africa. Yes, indeed, the league has been fantastic this season with matches, with officiating in the matches, very top-notch one, where we see teams going away to get a point, even a draw. This home team to win at all costs, I think is something that is gradually fading away from the Nigerian Premier Football League. Since continue with the Nigerian Premier Football League stories, Remo Stars head coach Daniel Ogumodede is upbeat. His team title chances despite the defeat to is upbeat on his team's title chances despite the defeat to Rivers United. The Sky Blue Stars had their lead at the top of the table reduced to 5 points after going down to a 1-0 loss to finish the just side. Ogumodede's team now have 7 games to navigate before claiming their first Nigerian Premier Football League title. The Kenne-based club in Ogun State will be away to Lobby Stars in a rescheduled March the 30th encounter on Wednesday. The young tactician is adamant that they are still on course to win the title. According to Ogumodede, he said no complications. We'll also go back to our home and win. We will be back to 8 points. We have 3 more home games and we will try as much as possible to get maximum points. It is a fierce competition and we'll love it. We are almost there. In the next 6 weeks, we should be talking about this. Let's see if Remo Stars will win their first Premier League title. This is their 3rd season in the Nigerian Premier Football League. A very young team, and they are the top of the table just after 3 years of coming into the Nigerian Premier Football League. Let's go to the camp of the Flying Eagles, Nigeria under-20 team, where Flying Eagles head coach Aliu Zubairu has confirmed, has named a 35-man squad for the finals team training camp ahead of the 2025 Africa Under-20 Cup of Nations. The 7-time African champions relocated to Abuja for training camp on Monday. The core of the squad comprises players who featured in Nigeria's victorious campaign at the Wafubi Under-20 Championship held in Togo in last year. Notable among them are Daniel Bamayi, Ebenezer Hakot, Adamu Megeri, Kenneth Igbokwe, and Sabiu Mohammed. Also included are Suleiman Alabi, Jojo, Nasiru Salihu, Olise Divine, Bidemi Amole, and Clinton Jefta. Seven foreign base players have also been called up to join the camp. The Flying Eagles have been drawn in Group B of the Under-20 Africa Cup of Nations alongside Egypt, who are the current hosts, Morocco and South Africa. The tournament is scheduled to commence in Cairo, Egypt on April the 27th. Program is Citizen Sports, reaching you from 93.7 Abuja. Yes, for our listener, you have the opportunity to call in the program. It is a Champions League night. We'll be taking your thoughts, your calls on the games that will be coming up tonight. Just before then, let's go for this breather, and we will be right back.
Nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Make we join our hearts to build a nation of our dream. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Yeah. Your problem is my problem and my joy is your joy. Citizen FM, Citizen FM. Shiki. Citizen FM, Citizen FM.
Before we go straight to Europe, let's take this story to foster grassroots football development in the FCT. A football stakeholder has called on well-meaning Nigerians and corporate entities for partnership. A team manager of Crown TFC Adegoke Tunde made the call yesterday on the sidelines of the just concluded 2025 Nara Para Cup held at the Kuje Stadium. Adegoke, who is also the sponsor of the Nara Para Cup, believed that with adequate sponsorship, football development at grassroots level will thrive. Assistant coach of the Nigerians Under-20 women's football team, Mansour Ablahi, described the tournament as a success, noting talent have been spotted for further grooming. Earlier, chairman FCTFA Adams Mukhtar, represented by the first vice chairman, Honorable Salihu Kolo Momo, other area councils, FAs, to key into such project, saying it is in line with the NFF's commitment to grassroots football development. Meanwhile, flying parrots of Bamishi Kuje defeated Kwali United 5-4 on penalties after regulation time ended 1-1. Winners, Flying Parrots, went home with a cash prize of 600,000 naira as runners-up made away with a sum of 400,000 naira, while the third place team, Babayero FC of Gwagwalada, managed the sum of 200,000 naira only and sets of jerseys. Kwali United Ishaku Rabiu claimed the best player of the tournament. Best goalkeeper went to Matthias Mali of Flying Parrots. Danladi Isa, also of Flying Parrot, finished the tournament as the highest goal scorer, while coach Marcos Bulus of Flying Parrots was named the best coach. Now let's take a listen to all the three persons that spoke at the tournament.
Even though my team participated in the tournament and we are unable to get to the final, I can say it has been a very fair and lovely tournament. The development of football in Kuje, to me, it has not been encouraging though, but I can just say we have a lot of talent, not only in Kuje, or let me say in Nigeria, Abuja, everywhere. And I hope if we can get people like to join us together and to improve players, it will be more encouraging. Even though
so far I've seen a player that I'm going to invite, or some players I'm going to invite them to Galadima FC and some other teams. You will agree with me, from the first half we have watched so far, the goalkeeper of the team that they are leading, that's the Kwali United, you see, have done great savings, and he's the one who keep the team to end this first half while they are leading. Also during the games, I've seen a player from the Crown T, a fantastic left full back, of which we are drafting him into Galadima FC, where he can play for the Nationwide League. And we know who is Galadima FC in this country. Have a lot of players in Europe. Just this January, one of the Galadima players signed for Benfica FC.
I'm here on behalf of my state chairman, Alhaji Abba Mokhtar Mohammed. During his campaign for his re-election, this was one of the promises he made, that he wants football should go to the grassroots because of the following reasons. One, some of them are not be opportune to expose themselves, and we have these talents at the grassroots. And these are the kind of people who want to come organize competition to bring these boys out, so we can select those that are talented. I'm here on behalf of
Whenever you hear the sound, it is the Champions League night. Yes, we are back to the quarter-final stages of the UEFA Champions League, as two games will be coming up tonight. One game will happen at the Emirates Stadium against the team that has won the UEFA Champions League more than any other team. That is Arsenal versus Real Madrid, while at the Allianz Arena in Germany is going to be Inter versus Bayern Munich. Inter won it in 2010, and for Bayern, they have also been fantastic in the UEFA Champions League, winning it 3 seasons ago. What happens tonight in these two games? The number to reach me in the studio is 0903 2229797 0903 2229797. The WhatsApp number 0818 222 205, or the other number 0818 222 206. You can reach me on all of this number. You can also make a WhatsApp call or a text message on WhatsApp number 0818 22205 0903 2229797. Who wins this matches tonight? All right, it is the Champions League night. Arsenal versus Real Madrid, Bayern Munich versus Inter Milan. 0903 2229797 0818 2222205. Who wins tonight in the UEFA Champions League game? Just call these numbers and you will get to me live in the studio. Arsenal fans, Inter Milan fans, Bayern Munich fans, Real Madrid fans. The bragging right starts now. Let's hear your voice. Let's hear you. Okay, let's take this story where Real Madrid head coach Carlo Ancelotti has placed the responsibilities of taking penalties on Kylian Mbappe ahead of their Champions League quarterfinal game against Arsenal tonight. Mbappe will take the penalties after Vini Jr. recent miss. Vini Jr. stepped out to take a penalty against Valencia in La Liga at the weekend, but missed a spot kick leading to their 2-1 defeat. The Los Blancos had the chance to go 1-0 ahead in just 13 minutes, but the Brazilians' weak penalty was comfortably saved by Giorgio Mamadashvili. Vinicius Jr. redeemed his image by scoring what turned out to be Real Madrid's only goal of the game, but Carlo Ancelotti team ended up losing the game 2-1. The Spanish media outlet Marca Viagol is reporting that Ancelotti has decided to remove Vini Jr. from penalty taking duties. Mbappe will be Real Madrid's new penalty taker, starting with their UEFA Champions League game tonight against Arsenal. Vinicius has wasted 2 penalties this season, while Mbappe has also failed to convert 2 spot kicks. Jude Bellingham is expected to be called upon if Mbappe also fails to deliver from the spot. The Englishman has also failed to score on 1 occasion from penalties this season, and Ancelotti's side will lock arms up with Arsenal in the first leg of their UEFA Champions League quarter-final at the Emirates Stadium tonight. Yes, who wins those games tonight? Bayern versus Inter Milan, Arsenal versus Real Madrid at the Emirates Stadium. Who wins those games? Let's feel your pause. Let's feel your thought. Arsenal fans, the number is 090-322-29797, 0818-222-205 or 0818-222-206. The UEFA Champions League game tonight. Which team do you look forward to? Which team wins tonight, the first leg of the quarterfinal games in the UEFA Champions League? Right, let's look at some interesting story concerning Arsenal versus Real Madrid, as at least 5 Real Madrid players are facing suspension ahead of the first leg of their game against Arsenal at the Emirates Stadium. Vinicius Junior, Luka Modric, Antonio Rudiger, Eduardo Camavinga, Endrick, and Lucas Vazquez will be banned from the second leg if they picked up a yellow card tonight. Eder Militao is also a booking away from suspension, but the Brazilian defender is out injured. Madrid players have trio of Declan Rice, Gabriel Martinelli, and Julian Timber are also walking a disciplinary tightrope. Champions League, they will not be part of the second leg in Santiago Bernabeu. Let's continue with UEFA Champions League story as the stage is set for this season quarterfinals. Arsenal will play Real Madrid as Bayern will play Inter Milan. It's going to be Barcelona versus Borussia Dortmund. Paris Saint-Germain will take on Aston Villa. Which team makes it to the last 4? Yes, as Real Madrid will be away to Arsenal in the first leg tonight in the UEFA Champions League, and Bayern Munich also will be at the Allianz Arena to welcome Inter Milan. That games will come up on Wednesday. Zero 090-322-2979 is the number to call on the show this morning. Which is your team? Which team are you looking forward to? Arsenal fans, Real Madrid fans, calling in the show this morning, and let's hear your thoughts. Who wins the first leg? Let's talk some boxing as former cruiserweight world champion Tony Bellew has backed Anthony Joshua to defeat Daniel Dubois should they meet again in a rematch of their September 2024 bout. Speaking in an interview, Bellew expressed confidence in Joshua's abilities despite his previous defeat to Dubois. According to the cruiserweight champion, he said if they were to have a rematch, I would favor Joshua going in. He has better attributes than Daniel Dubois, but it's all about the mindset. The first fight between the two British heavyweights saw Dubois score a heavy knockdown at the end of the first round before finishing Joshua with a conclusive knockout in the 5th round. Joshua had been rebuilding his career following back-to-back losses to Alexander Usyk with knockout victories over Francis Ngannou, Otto Wallin, and Robert Helenius. There was talk of an immediate rematch after Joshua's loss to Dubois, but the British Nigerian-born instead took time out to recover from injury while hoping to secure a blockbuster showdown with long-term rival Tyson Fury, who has since retired at the start of the year. Dubois was scheduled to fight Joseph Parker in February but withdrew due to illness. He has now been mandated to defend his IBF strap against 49-fight veteran Derek Chisora. According to the more likely fight for Dubois is a rematch with Usyk for the undisputed title, while Joshua may take on Parker if he remains in retirement. Now let's talk NBA, where the Sacramento Kings boosted their NBA postseason hopes with a 127-117 win at the Detroit Pistons. Zach LaVine scored for 3 points and DeMar DeRozan 37 for the Kings, who came from 18 points down to secure a third successive victory. They remain ninth in the Western Conference, one win ahead of Dallas Mavericks. Teams finishing from 7th to 10th qualify for the play-in tournament, which runs from 15th to 18th April. The only side who can deny the Kings are the 11th place Phoenix Suns, who have 3 fewer wins with 4 regular season games remaining. The Miami Heat are assured of a play-in place in the East, 117-105 at home against the already eliminated Philadelphia 76ers, who suffered a 12th successive defeat. Now let's look at the full result. It was another bad day in the office for Van Nistelrooy of Leicester City as free-scoring Newcastle United heaped more misery on relegation-bound Leicester City as the Magpies Champions League pursuit gathered further momentum. The 3 points for Eddie Howe's side lifted them above Manchester City into 5th place in the Premier League and level on points with 4th place Chelsea, despite still having a game in hand. Leicester, meanwhile, became the first side in the top 4 tiers of English football to lose 8 home league games in a row without finding the net as they sit 15 points from safety with 7 games remaining. The scoring started inside the opening 2 minutes with Jacob Murphy scoring the first of 2 tap-ins after some great work down the left wing by Tino Livramento. Murphy's second came less than 10 minutes later when Fabian Schär almost scored the goal of the season, but his audacious effort from inside his own half struck the crossbar with Newcastle winger reacting fastest to finish the rebound. 24 minutes then passed before Howe's men extended their lead further as Julentin easily caught inside Ward Fairs and forced a diving save out of Matt Hermansen, but former Fox winger Harvey Barnes reacted first to make it 3-0 as the Bulls rang out around King Power Stadium. The Forces, who passed the 12-hour mark without scoring a goal, came within inches of finding the back of the net, but Paston Dakar's strike hit the inside of the both posts before rolling into the hands of Nick Pope. Leicester City will look to avoid a 10th loss on the spin on Saturday when they take on Brighton at the Amex Stadium. Other games played in La Liga was Leganés and Osasuna played a 1-1 draw. In Serie A, Bologna held Napoli to a 1-1 draw at their home ground. Yes, it is the UEFA Champions League night tonight. Arsenal takes on Real Madrid as Bayern Munich also entertain Inter. Who wins this game? We'll be back again on the show tomorrow to take all of these calls and the stories concerning these games. All right, this is where we leave it on the show Citizen Sports, reaching you from 93.7 FM Abuja. The program returns same time tomorrow on the station Citizen Sports. I am Emmanuel Fashimise. Thanks for listening.
ẹ jẹ́ ká jọjọ́ Miliki óyá 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 ẹ jẹ́ ká jọjọ́ ẹ̀sọ́ pẹ̀lẹ́ níjó óyá óyá óyá.
This is Evangelist Professor Ebenezer Obey. I also enjoy listening to Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Please keep on listening to the soul of the nation. Thank you.
Olúwa mi mo jáde lọ láti ṣe iṣẹ́ òòjọ́ mi ìwọ. ẹ jẹ́ ká jọjọ́ Miliki ẹ jẹ́ ká jọjọ́ Miliki óyá 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 ẹ jẹ́ ká jọjọ́ ẹ̀sọ́ pẹ̀lẹ́ níjó óyá óyá óyá.
This is Evangelist Professor Ebenezer Obey. I also enjoy listening to Citizen FM 93.7 Abuja. Please keep on listening to the soul of the nation. Thank you.
Olúwa mi mo jáde lọ láti ṣe iṣẹ́ o.